Welcome back to Fixing My Faith. Today we are going to pound another brick out of that tower's wall. And after we did that last video, one of our subscribers sent us a link and said we should share this. And so I looked at it, and my good wife looked at it, and she said, yeah, this would be something that we should get out as soon as we can. So I'm going to get right into it. Let me see. Before I get into it, I want to say thank you to Bill H. out there. He's a Jehovah's Witness. Left a comment on the site about the stickers. Remember we're talking about the stickers? Do not call stickers for Jehovah's Witnesses. Or for us to, as ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, to put on people's doors. And he says, great idea. This will make getting our territory done more efficient. Make sure we reach more of the deserving ones and not wasting your time or ours. Thank you. So we gave him a big heart, and we agreed. We said, absolutely. So you see, even the Jehovah's Witnesses agree with getting these stickers out, these do not call stickers, getting them on people's doors. They said it's going to make their job easier to identify the deserving ones. So there you have it. Thanks to Bill. So we're going to move on. Thanks to Mimi, we are looking into this, let me pull it up here, this fella here, Tony Ortega. And Tony Ortega, he's kind of like us, and he's tackling Scientology. So we're gonna just take a look at what he says, Tony Ortega. It's a very short little video. And then we're going to take a look at the IRS form that he's encouraging ex-Scientologists to use to get their donations back. So let's take a quick look at this. I'm going to turn that on and get this blowing up here.
I've got a comment coming in. This is from Darnell E, who says, so call it a cult. Why are we not calling it a cult?
I tend not to use that word because it's useless. It doesn't mean anything.
Also, the IRS say it's not a cult, right?
Well, yeah, but what's a cult? How do you define the difference between a cult and a church? I mean, it's such a useless word, and I try not to use it because I see so many people online endlessly arguing about whether this group is a cult or that group is a cult. It's just a waste of time. This is an organization that is harming people through its policies, and that's what I focus on, the behavior of this organization. They want to call themselves a church, fine. So why is a church splitting up families? Why was a church forcing young women to have abortions for decades? Why is a church imprisoning its own executives in a prison for years at a time? Who cares about the word cult? The importance is these behaviors are reprehensible, and you and I are subsidizing it because it's got nonprofit tax status, and it has billions of dollars now because we don't force the IRS to make it pay its due. Yeah.
Okay, so now you met Tony Ortega, and we're going to get into how he's showing everyone to use these forms, and we just get right into the forms here. Now I'm going to go all the way back to the IRS form. If you go right on to the home site, it's form 13909 is what it is. Now if you just put that in there, you hit that and it pulls you right up to basically the form here. So I'm going to put this link right into the description of the video, so all you have to do is click this link and it'll pull you right here, and then you hit this button and up comes the form. Now I'm going to put the form on this other screen so it's a little bigger, and I think there's room for me to be on here, so we are. And all you do is put your name in and the nature of the violation. Now remember, we're trying to get our donations back, and we did not know that they were using, the directors, officers, and persons are using the income for personal gain. Like, why do they have Rolex watches? Why do they live around a resort? Like, we thought they were just normal people. No. So what about engaged in commercial not-for-profit business activities? Well, aren't they in the stock market selling stock, building warplanes? Like, we didn't know about that. Income accesses are being used to support illegal activities, crimes. What about supporting cover-ups of child abuse? That's a crime. And our donations are used to pay lawyers for all these thousands and thousands of cover-ups. Now, if we tax them on that, say, I want my donations back, they have to give it back. Or they have to become transparent and show you that they're not using your money to pay for lawyers. Now, what about involved in a political campaign? What about the whole bitter winner thing with Massimo Introvini? And he's all into the bitter winner, and he supports the Scientologists and the JWs. He's on the JW site. He also is into some Satan cult stuff too. So you look into that guy. He has quite the past. Now, organization is engaged in excessive lobbying. Well, that's what Jehovah's Witnesses do. They lobby, and they send out letters and letters and letters, and they block up the mail systems in some countries, in Russia, and they're sending so many letters out. And they've done that here in our own country. They've done that all over the world. That's one of their games they play. And I was involved in that, writing letters to some country during the 30 years I was in the cult. Now, the organization refused to disclose or provide a copy of the Form 990, and I think that's where they're not showing where they spend your money. But you've got to look into these forms. The organization failed to report employment, income, and excess tax and liability properly. Well, a lot of these kingdom halls aren't reporting and filing income tax properly. I looked in Alberta, some were 4 years late. Organization failed to file required federal tax returns and forms. Organization engaged in deceptive or improper fundraising practices, and for sure they're doing that. They're engaging in getting estates, they're begging for money, begging for more money, and they say they're a free religion, but now they're sending letters out and they want $10.75 a publisher in the US anyways. And hit other and talk about, type in all kinds of stuff. You're shunned, or maybe you're a CSA. Talk about all these things that you personally have been violated. I've been violated by shunning excessively. None of my family, none of my kids will ever talk to me because I am on this side of the fence. Even before I was online, they wouldn't talk to me. So details of violation, well, talk about it all. And it's not a complicated form. It gives the instructions here. And at the end, it says you can get a reward. It says a claim for a reward, to claim a reward for providing this information to the IRS. And also you can claim, check a button here and say, I am concerned that I might face a retaliation or retribution if my identity is disclosed. So click that button so your identity is not disclosed. And, it's a very simple form. So I encourage everyone to take a look at this 13909 form. And it's for the U.S. And if we had all of the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses in the U.S. filing this form, that could make quite the statement to the IRS and get them investigating the Watchtower. So it's another brick that we're hammering out of the tower. And it's something we can do personally right in the privacy of our own home, and maybe talk to your tax accountant. Everyone files income tax. And you filed donations over the years. Your tax accountant keeps a record of all it. They keep it on file, and you can go back and claim those donations. In the U.S., in California, in the Mormon Church, a guy donated $2 million to the Mormons, and he went to court and got the money back because they didn't use it for humanitarian need to help people. They used it to buy a shopping mall and some other things. So, the Watchtower's out there using money. Are they into stock market? Well, they do have stock market, but that they claim that was donated to them, the stock investments that they have. But the Watchtower is definitely buying and selling property, and I believe it's illegal. Like, how can you get congregations turning over titles to the Watchtower in other countries to a U.S. corporation just with paperwork? Taking that money basically out of the country. There's got to be laws against these things. So anyways, the more of us that complain, I think the further that we can help to knock another brick out of the Watchtower. So until next time, folks, keep living your life with love. Bye for now.